Starter Unit. Vocabulary. Exercise 2.
Look, it's another picture of Alicia Vikander. Every time I check my Facebook, I see a new picture of her.
Well, she is very cool. I follow her on Twitter. Yesterday, she shared a link to the trailer of that new film she's in. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Hey, are you online right now? I'm trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, but it's not working.
That's because they reset the password here every day. It's Coffee Time 200 today.
Oh, okay. Great. I'm online.
We should go now. The bus is about to leave.
Hang on. I'm just updating my profile picture. There. Do you like my latest selfie?
I love it. Now come on, let's get out of here.
Starter Unit. Vocabulary and Listening. Exercises 2 and 3.
Hi, Grandma. Are you still watching that? Wow, you really love golf, don't you?
I do love golf, sweetheart, especially on this TV.
It's HD, Grandma. The picture's great, isn't it?
HD?
Yes, you know, high definition.
Ah, yes, it's amazing. You know that TV didn't used to have colour pictures. My first TV was black and white, and we didn't have remote controls, you know.
How did you used to change the channel?
We used to stand up and walk to the TV. Just imagine. Although there only used to be 3 channels. There wasn't any satellite TV.
Wow. And I know you like using Skype. I guess that didn't exist when you were younger, did it?
Oh, no. But I think video calling is wonderful.
We're very lucky now, aren't we? I imagine that life used to be more difficult without all this technology.
Not really, just different. We didn't have GPS, for example, so we used to use real maps more, and most people your age can't do that now.
Do you think people used to have more skills?
No, I mean we had different skills, like reading maps and doing maths in our heads because we didn't use calculators. And you've got things like spell checkers now, and there are apps for everything. People don't need to think so much now, do they?
Well, we still have some skills. I can make coffee, you know. There isn't an app for that. Would you like one?
I'd love a cup of coffee, thanks, Zoe.
No problem.
Unit 1. Vocabulary. Exercise 3.
What can you remember about your last birthday?
Let me think. Actually, I'm not sure if I can remember anything.
Really? Why not?
Well, maybe I didn't do anything. I honestly can't remember. What about you?
I can remember mine. I had a great time.
Nice. What did you do?
I went out for pizza with my friends. You were there, Tegan, remember?
Oh, yes.
Do you keep souvenirs of places that you visit?
Yes, I do. This is my favourite. I carry it everywhere with me.
What is it?
It's a shark tooth.
Oh, cool. What's the story behind that?
Well, believe it or not, it's from a massive shark which I caught when I was fishing in Australia.
You're kidding!
Yes, I'm kidding. It's just plastic. I bought it in a shop when I was on holiday.
Do you frame photos to remind you of special events?
Not really. They're all on my phone, though.
You've got loads on here. What's this one?
Oh, no.
Is this you?
Yes, that's me.
What were you wearing?
It was supposed to be a carrot costume, for a school assembly in Year 4.
That's hilarious.
Okay. I was only a kid.
Unit 1. Reading. Exercise 1.
Land transport in Vietnam, then and now. Over the years, there have been significant changes to land transport in Vietnam. People used to rely heavily on bicycles, but modern forms of transport have replaced them. Bicycles. Had bicycles been an important means for many years before the advent of motorized vehicles? This was definitely true because they had played an essential role in Vietnamese daily life by the mid-20th century. Bicycles were used to get around, commute to work, transport goods to markets, and even to travel long distances. Streets full of bicycles made it a common sight. Motor vehicles. As the economy grew, there was a need for faster and more efficient transport. This led to the introduction of motorbikes due to their speed and convenience. The motor vehicles on the roads had not increased dramatically until the 1990s. At the time, the government was trying to invest in new infrastructure, like highways and railways. People then had a greater variety of transport choices. Modern-day vehicles. In recent years, the increasing number of cars resulting from economic development has been a new sign of social status. Cars, along with motorbikes, are one of the main vehicles for many city dwellers. In addition, tech-based services are becoming more competitive, providing people with a convenient and affordable way to move from one place to another.
Unit 1. Pronunciation. Exercise 2.
Common. Damaged. Fashionable. Fragile. Rare. Tough. Undamaged. Unpopular. Useful. Valuable.
Unit 1. Vocabulary and Listening. Exercise 3.
Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Eric.
And this is our second podcast about time capsules. Last week, we gave you some tips. This week, we want to talk about some real time capsules.
Let's start with the Boston time capsule, because it's the oldest and it's an interesting story.
Unit 1. Vocabulary and Listening. Exercise 4.
Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Eric.
And this is our second podcast about time capsules. Last week, we gave you some tips. This week, we want to talk about some real time capsules.
Let's start with the Boston time capsule, because it's the oldest and it's an interesting story.
Yes, some builders came across this one in 2015. The workers were repairing a historic building when they found a metal box hidden inside the walls. 2 men had left it there over 220 years ago.
That's right. So, some experts opened the box very carefully because it contained fragile documents. Also inside, there were some unusual coins, a medal, some newspapers from 1795, and some really interesting historic documents, all in amazingly good condition.
Those coins will be pretty valuable now.
Let's look at another one from the USA, but this one is a bit bigger.
Yes, it's enormous. It's in Georgia, and it's called the Crypt of Civilization. People call it the first modern time capsule.
It's really a room a waterproof room with a massive metal door. The idea for it came from a university president in the 1930s. He wanted future civilizations to have information about us. The opening date is the year 8113.
That's a long, long time.
It certainly is. They finished building the crypt in 1940. The things in the room were ordinary objects in 1940, like typewriters and radios. But looking at the pictures, some of them look very old-fashioned now.
I know! Look at this toaster!
Unit 1. Speaking. Exercises 2 and 3.
Have I told you about the time I got my first bicycle? It was the day of my 10th birthday. When I got home from school, I saw a beautiful brand new bike in the living room. I remember feeling really excited. I've got an older brother, you see, so I always got his old bicycles when he was too big for them. It was the same with clothes. I didn't have many things which were fashionable or brand new. Anyway, the first thing I did was to go outside and try out my new bike. All my family came out into the street, and they were watching me. The problem was the bike was quite big, and it wasn't easy to ride. And then, 20 meters down the road, I fell off. What a disaster! There I was, all dirty and crying, and my brand new bike was damaged. I used to be quite a tough kid, but I was upset and embarrassed. And that's it. All in all, it wasn't a great experience. Luckily, nobody took any photos. Unit 2, Vocabulary, Exercise 3.
Joelle, how good are you at making decisions?
I'm not sure. I mean, I can make decisions, but I prefer to put things off, especially if it's something difficult, like making arrangements with friends. I guess I'm someone who likes to keep my options open.
Olivia, are you a decisive person?
Yes, definitely. I'm someone who sticks with my decisions. For example, I'm pretty good at buying presents because I always know what I want to get before I go into the shop. I'm quite an organised person, and I like to get on with things as soon as I can so I can tick them off my list.
Theo, how good are you at making decisions?
I'm pretty indecisive. For example, ordering food at a restaurant. I can never decide what I want. I'm no good at shopping either. I go to every shop to see what they've got, and then I can't make up my mind after seeing so many different options. Making decisions just isn't something I enjoy.
Unit 2. Reading. Exercise 2.
Alternative lives. People who have chosen to live differently. Living without waste. Lauren Singer has always been interested in the environment. After finishing her degree in environmental studies, she made up her mind to live a zero-waste lifestyle because she was shocked that people are so wasteful. Since then, she hasn't used any disposable products. She never uses plastic cups, bags or bottles, for example. She either reuses containers or buys products without packaging. She even makes her own toothpaste. She has managed to reduce her waste so much that 2 years of her rubbish filled only one 500-gram jar. Lauren has been blogging about her lifestyle for the last few years, and her blog gives useful advice and ideas for people who want to reduce their impact on the environment. Living without money. Daniel Suelo is a modern nomad. He's moneyless and homeless, so he moves around to find food and shelter. He sometimes looks after people's houses for 2 or 3 weeks, but usually he lives in the caves of Utah in the USA. When he was younger, he worked as a cook, but he dropped out of society and hasn't used money since 2000. He says he's happier since he made his decision. Mark Boyle is another moneyless man. He hasn't used money since 2008. Mark lives in a caravan in a field and grows his own vegetables. He hasn't bought food for a long time. He says that he's never been happier or healthier.
Unit 2, Vocabulary and Listening, Exercises 3 and 4.
How's transition year going for you, Joey?
Good, so far, thanks. I've already had the chance to do a few interesting things.
Yes? What have you enjoyed most so far?
I'd say it was definitely the week at the Outdoor Activity Centre.
The outdoor activities? Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
Really good. I think I gained a lot of confidence when I was there. I was really nervous about things like kayaking, but in the end, I really got into it. We did a lot of activities in teams, and that helped us get to know each other better and learn to trust each other. I thought that was really good. We had a real laugh with the teachers too.
So, Rita, how's transition year going for you? Have you done any work experience yet?
Yes, I've done one of my weeks, and I've organised another week in June.
Oh, yes, that's right. You've just finished working at the dentist's. How was that?
Pretty good, actually. I learned about all of the instruments and helped with x-rays and mixing stuff. It was cool.
So, do you think you might study to be a dentist?
I don't know. I haven't decided on my subjects for 5th year yet.
Well, you can take your time and try out some of the subjects before you decide.
Yeah, I will.
Hi, Martin. Laura, you're getting ready for your trip to India. How are the preparations going?
Good, thanks. We've already raised over €1,000.
We need about another 1,000 for the flights and stuff.
Great. When are you hoping to go out to India?
February, maybe.
We still haven't got the exact dates.
You know, 2 boys in 5th year did that same project last year. You should get in touch with them.
We already have. We got together with them a few weeks ago and they told us all about their experience.
We'll be working with children like they did, hopefully.
Great. And have you made any decisions about next year?
No, I haven't decided anything.
And you, Laura?
Yes, I decided my subjects a long time ago. And in the future, I might get involved with charity work. I've really enjoyed that.
Unit 2, Speaking, Exercises 1 and 2.
Hey, Rosa. What are you up to?
Oh, I'm still trying to choose my last 2 subjects for 5th year.
Seriously? Haven't you done that yet? There's not much time left.
I know. I've been thinking about it for ages, but I can't make up my mind.
OK, what are your options?
Well, I've just chosen German, but I don't know whether to do business or art. Which do you reckon is best?
It's up to you, Rosa. They're totally different subjects.
Yes, I know. Oh, I'm in 2 minds. The good thing about art is that I know I enjoy it. But then business is probably more useful. So I'm sort of leaning towards business.
Have you thought of speaking to Mr. Bartley about this? He gave me some really good advice.
Good idea. Thanks, Liam.
No problem.
Unit 2, Pronunciation, Exercise 3.
It's up to you.
I'm in 2 minds. I'm leaning towards...
What are your options?
Which do you reckon is best?
Have you thought of that? Have you considered that?
The good thing about is that...
Unit 2, Speaking, exercises 4 and 5.
Michael, have you decided which festival you want to go to yet?
I'm in two minds. I think we should go to Longitude or the Electric Picnic, but I can't decide between the two.
We can't put it off any longer. We need to get tickets, and we don't have enough money to go to both.
I know. Which do you reckon is best?
Right. Well, the Electric Picnic's for older people, I reckon, and it's massive, almost too big. I like the idea of Longitude, 'cause it's more alternative.
That's true, but then it always rains at Longitude. And the good thing about the Electric Picnic is that it's much nearer.
I suppose so. But you know that my friend Lily is driving to Longitude, and she's got 2 spaces in her car. Have you considered that?
Lily is going to Longitude? Seriously? Right, that's it. I've made up my mind. If it's good enough for Lily, it's good enough for me.
Oh, good. I'm glad we've sorted that out.
Progress Review 1, Exercise 4.
After the latest information on the sale of one of Europe's largest car makers, we now move to a sale of a different type. And it's over to our North of England correspondent, Mike Carter. Hello, Mike.
Good morning, Diane. I'm standing outside the auction house here on Teesside. There are a lot of people leaving the place after the sale of an important collection.
When you say collection, people usually think about a collection of valuable paintings or rare books. But that's not the case today, is it?
No. Today we saw the sale of a big collection of toys. These were mostly rare Action Man toys.
Who did they belong to?
Well, they belonged to an 88-year-old man called Doug Carpenter. In the 1970s and 1980s, he had worked for a popular toy company called Palitoy. While he was working for the company, he kept some of the products. He was allowed to.
So why was his collection so special?
Well, all the toys were unused and they had been kept safely in their boxes in a room at the top of his house. Both the toys and the boxes were completely undamaged, and some of the boxes in particular were very rare. A small number of boxes were empty, but they were still valuable. One box sold for £160.
£160 for an empty box?
But the most valuable thing today was a set of Action Man sports clothes. Someone paid £6,480 for the set. It was a rare judo outfit. It was unused and in a special box.
Wow! £6,480 for Action Man clothes. Perhaps it isn't always a good idea to throw away your old or useless things. Thank you, Mike.
Progress Review 1, Exercise 11.
1.
Hi, Victoria. How have you found your first afternoon here at the school?
Well, I was very nervous at first because I haven't helped in a school before and I've never got involved with working with children. So I found the first hour a bit difficult.
I see.
But when I got the chance to read some stories to a group of children, I really got into it.
Fantastic.
I haven't completely got used to reading stories like a teacher, but I enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait for next week.
2.
Hello, Mark. How has the afternoon been for you?
I've found it all really interesting here at the school. It's been great so far.
That's good. What's been the best thing?
Well, in the break time, I got together with Dan. He's doing community work here too.
and we organised a football match with the children in the playground.
That sounds fun. Did you get to know Dan here?
No, he's a friend from my secondary school.
3.
Hi, Ellie. Have you enjoyed your first visit here?
Yes, I've really enjoyed helping the children. Except for the painting activity.
Oh, why was that?
Well, the school told me that I needed to do painting with the children, so I got ready for it. I'm wearing old clothes.
Good idea.
Well, the children really got into it, and they put paint everywhere, all over me.
Oh, no.
But it was a good afternoon overall.
Unit 3. Vocabulary. Exercise 4.
Sam, what do you spend your money on?
I haven't got loads of money. I spend it mostly on going out, I suppose. When I go out with friends, we might get a pizza or something in town. It's not worth spending a lot of money on clothes. If I get any money for my birthday, then I'll put it in the bank because I'm saving for a car. If money was no object, I'd get a nice red Ferrari, but that isn't going to happen.
Tegan, do you like shopping?
Yeah, I actually do like shopping, and if you look around, you can get some bargains in town. My one luxury is this pair of sunglasses. I spent quite a bit of money on them, so I hope they last me a while. This brand is really in at the moment. Apart from clothes, I get makeup. I don't take any notice of advertisements for makeup, though. They're all the same.
Daniel, what do you spend your money on?
There's a big shopping centre near where I live, but most of the shops only sell expensive brands, so I can't afford anything there. I spend most of my money on games stuff. There is one shop in town where you can rent games, and they also buy and sell used games. The prices of new games are a bit of a rip-off. I can usually get things cheaper online.
Unit 3. Reading. Exercise 1.
Influencers. The online stars who set the trends. Who or what are influencers?
People who have influence on others, obviously. Young people who are stars on social media have thousands, sometimes millions of followers. Companies pay them a lot of money to advertise products because they're like internet celebrities. A famous example from the UK is Zoella. She has about 10 million subscribers to her beauty channel.
Really? How does that work?
Okay, imagine I'm a fashion blogger or a popular gamer or someone who makes really funny videos. Marketing companies give me a product because of my popularity on social media. I recommend the product and my followers think, hey, that must be cool because Harper likes it. I'm going to buy it. The marketing company pays me and everyone is happy.
Give me more examples.
Okay, a music promoter sends a song to an internet star who maybe dances to the song. The music company then pays for every view or like which that video gets. Or clothes retailers give lots of their products to influencers, since they hope the influencers will wear or just mention their stuff online. Influencers never pay for clothes or makeup or skateboards or games. Marketing companies are throwing stuff at them all the time.
Hey, I've got this blog and nobody's throwing stuff at me.
Well, you'll need a minimum of 400,000 followers. That doesn't happen overnight. But when you are successful, you can earn big money. Some vloggers started earning when they were still at school. Online marketing is massive. Companies want to reach young customers as they spend a lot and they stick with the brands that they like.
Okay, thanks, Harper. I'm going to find some followers. See you online.
Good luck.
Unit 3, Pronunciation, Exercise 2.
Scan. Screen. Shopping. Fashion. Store. Assistant. Show. Shelf.
Unit 3, Vocabulary and Listening, Exercises 3 and 4.
Hello, and welcome to our tour. Shopping will be different in the future.
Let's start here, on the street. One day soon you'll be walking along window shopping. The cameras in the shops will be watching you. The camera software will recognize how old you are, if you're a man or a woman, and what style of clothes you are wearing. Then the advertisements in the window will change. The advertisements will be specially for you. Ah, so you want to go in? Of course.
Welcome to the store. No, there aren't any shop assistants. Only robots, which fill the shelves and take your shopping to the checkouts. Stand in front of this screen and we'll scan your body. Good. Now we know what size you are. No, there aren't any changing rooms. Look at the screen. Yes, you can see yourself in different clothes. Touch the screen to change the color or size of the clothes. You won't need to try things on. Oh, good. You're going to buy a coat. Press this button. Your shopping will be at the checkout when you leave.
Are you buying a gift for a friend? Why not send it by drone? Drones operate in towns and cities. It's quick and convenient. Order a pair of shoes online now, and your friend will be wearing them in less than an hour. You're leaving. You won't need any cards or cash. Just connect to the Wi-Fi on your phone to pay the robot. Thank you and goodbye. We'll send you messages when there are special offers.
Now, time to go home. Your train leaves in 10 minutes. Ah, you're cooking for friends tonight, but you haven't got any food. No problem. There's a virtual store outside. Scan the barcodes of the food and we'll deliver it before you get home. What's that? You're impressed with the technology of the future. Well, you won't be waiting for it long, I promise. Why? Because it already exists. See you at the shops.
Unit 3, Speaking, Exercises 1 and 3.
Hi, I'm Joelle, and today I'd like to talk to you about my favourite product, the book. I think you're really going to like it. Let me start by showing you some great features of the book. First of all, it's light and portable. As you can see, I can carry it easily with one hand. It's also quite tough. If you drop it, it won't break. Some other products, in contrast, are a bit more fragile. Oh dear! Another advantage is that books don't require any electricity or a charger, so you can use them anywhere, unlike e-readers and tablets, which can run out of battery. It's also worth mentioning that books are very easy to share with friends. Finally, one big advantage of books is that they're cheap, or even free. If you visit a place called a library, You can borrow one for up to a month. Now that's what I call good value. So there you have it, the book. I think you'll agree that it's a great product. Get yours today!
Unit 3, Speaking, Exercise 4. 1.
I think you're really going to like it.
2.
I can carry it easily with one hand.
3.
Some other products, in contrast, are a bit more fragile.
4.
You can use them anywhere.
5.
Now that's what I call good value.
Unit 4, Vocabulary, Exercises 3 and 4.
Caitlin and Joelle.
What kind of situations are stressful for you?
What I find most stressful is being stuck in traffic. I hate it when I'm sitting on the bus and it's not moving, and I just want to be at home.
Really? I'm not that bothered by traffic. I just relax and read a book.
Oh, I couldn't do that. There's nothing relaxing about being stuck in a traffic jam.
Sam and Theo.
What activities do you find most relaxing?
I feel most relaxed when I'm at school and it's 5 minutes before an exam and I haven't revised.
What?
I'm joking. What I find most relaxing is playing the piano. I really love it because when I'm playing, I don't think of anything else except music. It's great.
Olivia and Rob.
What is your most annoying habit?
My most annoying habit? I'll show you. Look.
You snore!
I really snore. I suppose it's not exactly a habit because I can't stop it, but occasionally it is incredibly annoying, like if I stay at a friend's for a night. Once, I was camping and everybody on the campsite heard me. They weren't sure who it was, though. In the morning, people were asking me if I had heard it. Oops.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Unit 4, Reading, Exercise 2. Animal Emotions.
If you've read my blog before, you already know that I'm an animal lover. My 2 dogs are the best 4-legged friends in the world. And I've also adopted a long-haired, one-eyed cat with an attitude. She seems to know exactly what I'm thinking. So this month, I wanted to ask a question. Can animals think and feel like we do? In the 16th century, the philosopher René Descartes said that animals were like mechanical robots, which didn't feel pain or have thoughts and feelings. Since then, opinions have changed, as scientists have spent a lot of time researching animals. Here are a few of the surprising things which they've observed. When an elephant dies, the other elephants in the group cover its body and stand next to it. They stay near the dead animal for days and seem broken-hearted. Members of the group will visit the place months and sometimes years later. It seems like they could be expressing their sadness. They might, perhaps, have emotions. Whales act like they're happily in love. They embrace and play together. Some, like orcas, have one partner for life. Studies show that chimpanzees are sympathetic to each other. One chimpanzee will hug another chimpanzee if it is hurt. It's not only big-brained mammals which show sympathy. Crows, like elephants, stand in a group when one dies and bring grass to cover the body. Scientists have also noted that mice appear worried when another mouse is in pain. Animals in a group certainly have different personalities. Some are confident, some are shy, some are relaxed, others are more aggressive and assertive. So what about Descartes? To me, it's pretty obvious that he was wrong. The evidence suggests that animals must feel something. They can't simply be like robots. Researchers are using brain scans to discover more about animal behaviour, so we may know more about their emotions in the future. For now, we should be open-minded and considerate towards animals. They might be thinking more than we realise.
Unit 4, Vocabulary and Listening, Exercises 2 and 3. 1.
Okay, everybody, we're going to speed up a bit now. Right, so following me, and lift and stretch and lift and stretch and... Kevin, that's a bit too fast, actually. You can slow down just a little. Yes, no, keep going. Okay, that's nice. Right, we're going to do 10 more of these, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
2.
Hey! Whoa! Be careful! That was really dangerous.
Sorry?
You can't hear me, can you? Take off your headphones, that might help.
Sorry? I couldn't hear you. Oh, the headphones. Sorry, did I hit you?
No, you didn't. But you should look where you're going, honestly. You have to concentrate if you're on the road. That was crazy.
Okay. Calm down.
Calm down? Yeah, well, that's a bit difficult when you just nearly killed me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. You must be careful, though.
3.
Hello, Sophie. How are you?
Not bad. I don't really like coming to the dentist, though.
No, nobody likes coming here. Did you bring some music with you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Do you remember what I explained to you last time?
Oh, yes, about music and what was it? Endorphins?
Endorphins, yes. When you listen to music which you like, it helps you to relax and your body makes those chemicals called endorphins which help to reduce pain. So hopefully you won't really feel this.
OK. Shall I put on my headphones then?
Yes. Then you can relax and I promise this won't take long.
OK then.
Right. That's it. Comfortable?
Yes.
OK. Open wide for me, please.
Four.
David!
Oh, hi, Mum. What do you think?
Yes. You're improving, I think. One day you'll be able to play the whole song.
Oh, thanks. That really cheers me up. It's not easy.
No, I can hear that. You can't turn them down, can you?
No, Mum, sorry. You can't turn down drums.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're happy. I'm not sure if the neighbours are happy, though.
No?
No. You don't have to practice all day, every day, you know. You could have a break sometimes.
OK, Mum. I'll have a break.
Unit 4, Pronunciation, Exercise 5. 1,
It could distract him.
2,
We mustn't copy in exams.
3,
I couldn't finish my project.
4,
They should help us.
Unit 4, Speaking, Exercises 1 and 2.
What's up, Brad? You look a bit sad.
I didn't get into the swimming team, not even the reserves.
Oh no, I'm surprised to hear that. You must feel really fed up.
Yes, I do.
I can imagine. Cheer up. We know that you're a good swimmer. You mustn't get too down about it.
I can't help it. It's really disappointing.
Hey, look on the bright side. Now you don't have to get up early for training every day.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed all that.
Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure you'll get another chance. You just have to keep improving.
I suppose I could try again in the autumn. There are more trials then, and I can practice all summer.
Exactly. It may even be better then. It's a busy time now anyway, with all the exams and stuff.
Hey, you're right. It might not be so bad after all. Thanks, Josie.
Unit 4, Speaking, Exercises 3 and 4.
What's up, Jan? You don't look too happy.
No, I'm feeling so fed up. I've just heard that we might have to move house.
No, really? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my mum's got a new job, which is good, but it means we'll need to relocate. I can't believe it.
I can imagine. Where might you be moving?
To London.
London? Right. That's quite a long way. Look on the bright side, though. London is a really cool city. You'll be able to go and see Arsenal play.
Oh, great.
And we could all come and visit you.
Yes, but I really like it here. I don't want to move.
I know. You must feel awful. But listen, it might not even happen. You just have to keep your fingers crossed and see. Things could still change.
You're right. Thanks, Ned. You've cheered me up a bit.
Good. Don't worry. Things will work out okay.
Progress Review 2, Exercise 4.
Hi, I'm interested in these jeans, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. I don't think that I'm going to have time to try them on. There are a lot of people waiting outside the changing rooms over there.
I see. Well, we've got 18 changing rooms altogether here in the store. There are some more upstairs on the second floor, so you could try going up there.
Okay. Can you also tell me about returns, just in case I don't have time to try them on?
Sure. If for any reason you get home and find that your jeans don't fit, return them to the store in 21 days. You'll need the receipt, of course. We'll happily give you your money back, or you can exchange them for a different size.
Okay. Could I take the jeans back to one of your other shops? There's a shop nearer to my house.
Yes, that's fine. You can take the jeans back to any of our shops around the country. There are 45 other topwear shops.
Great.
And one other thing, if you can't find the right size on the shelves, we can order it here at the checkout and we'll deliver it to your home address in less than 7 working days. Or, of course, you can order things online on our website too.
That's really helpful. You know, I think I'm going to buy the jeans now that I know all about your returns policy.
That's great. Let me just scan the barcode. That's £28.
Okay. Here you are.
Thanks. Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Progress Review 2, Exercise 11.
Situation 1.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've got a big swimming competition this weekend, so we have to train really hard today. We're going to practice the 200 metres first, okay? Can't wait to see what you can do. Ready?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
Right, ready, go! Oh, great start, everybody. Good. Now, don't go too fast.
Situation 2.
I don't know what's the matter with you, Katie. You've been quiet all afternoon. Just because you lost that basketball match.
I just want to be on my own, Martha.
Oh, you should just forget about the match and cheer up. We could have a bit of fun and play that new computer game, couldn't we?
Well, I might start to feel better if you calm down and leave me alone for a bit.
Situation 3.
Thank you, Dan. That was great. Our play is going to be really good. Now, Jack, can you say your lines again?
Okay. Look! What's that over there in the distance? Can you see it? It looks like a monster. Yes, a terrible monster. I'm starting to feel afraid.
Yes, that's better than last time. But you should speed up and speak naturally. Can you try that again, please? A little faster this time?
Faster.
Please, you must concentrate, everybody, and listen. Now, start, Jack. Off you go.
Unit 5. Vocabulary. Exercise 3.
What's your favourite invention?
This is my favourite invention. It's hard to imagine life without a smartphone, really. I know that people survived for centuries without one of these, but now most people have got one. I always break my screen, though. I think that someone needs to invent a screen that doesn't break.
What do you think are the best and worst discoveries or inventions?
Personally, I can't think of anything better than a bicycle. It gets you from A to B. It's quiet, it's clean, and it keeps you fit and healthy. And the worst, well, I think it's a shame that someone ever invented social media. Some of my friends are obsessed with it and would rather sit and check their messages than actually hang out together. That really annoys me.
What do you think is the best discovery or invention?
I think medicines like penicillin and other antibiotics are at the top of my list. They have saved so many lives, but there is still a lot to do. Scientists still need to develop cures or vaccines for illnesses which are still very common and very dangerous, like malaria.
Which invention would you miss most at home?
In our house, I think the thing we'd miss most is the dishwasher. It's a great invention for saving time. I remember when our dishwasher wasn't working and my parents made me wash the dishes every day.
Unit 5. Reading. Exercise 1.
English and world inventions and discoveries. English is often considered to be the international language of science. The spread of English never stops, going hand in hand with many world-changing discoveries and inventions. English proves to stand the test of time and becomes an effective tool in communication, in the documentation and sharing of discoveries and inventions. In communication, the use of English helps to promote international cooperation and aims to encourage significant scientific advancements. English enables scientists, engineers, explorers, and inventors worldwide to think of new ideas and to share their findings. For ease of information storage and sharing, scientists like employing English to document and share the knowledge of inventions and discoveries, creating easy access to the development of various fields. The reaches of human thought are widened thanks to scientific publications, original or translated versions, on, for example, Isaac Newton's law of gravitation, Thomas Edison's key inventions, including the light bulb and recorded sound, Christopher Columbus's and James Cook's explorations of new lands, etc. Therefore, translating a wide variety of books written by non-English speaking scientists into English allows the books to reach the masses. It is hard to imagine life without the English language. If it were not for the English language, would there be another language to play the same role? Or do you wish you could invent a more effective alternative?
Unit 5, Vocabulary and Listening. Exercises 3 and 4.
What if?
Hello! Welcome to the What If podcast, our weekly look at your science questions. The questions are coming in fast, so let's see how many our experts can get through today. Where shall we start? Here's an easy one. What will we do if the sun dies? Frank?
Well, it will die, but we've got 4 or 5 billion years to think of an answer to that one. If theories are correct, the sun will then be about 30% hotter and the oceans won't exist. Earth will be a very different place, and if humans still exist, they'll probably be living on different planets by then.
Mike, your turn. What about the guitar one?
Yes, well, as you know, space is a vacuum, and sound doesn't travel if there isn't any air. So, if you played guitar in space, nobody would hear you.
That's right. But if you were in the space station, then people would hear you. Actually, there's a great video of an astronaut playing the guitar in the International Space Station. Okay, Jan, you're our astronomer. What are the chances that a really big meteor will hit Earth?
Well, we're probably safe for the next few hundred years. Astronomers observe any object which might come close, and occasionally there is a bit of a panic.
Yes. When did that last happen?
Well, in 2015, a big meteor came very close to us.
How big? And how close?
Well, the meteor was 3 kilometers wide, and it passed 4.6 million miles away from Earth.
4.6 million miles. Is that close?
In space, 4.6 million miles is very close. And this thing was travelling at 65,000 kilometres an hour. If that had hit the Earth, it would have destroyed a big area, probably the size of a small country.
Well, I'm glad that it missed then. Next question. Frank?
Yes, I like this one. Which species causes the most deaths? Now, I know people will be thinking sharks and snakes and so on, but in fact, sharks only cause about 5 deaths a year. Surprisingly, cows are worse, causing over 20 deaths a year. But by far the most dangerous species is humans, in my opinion.
Yes, I'm sure you're right. And on that happy note, let's have a commercial break.
What if?
Unit 5, Pronunciation. Exercise 5.
Death. Disease. Earth. Threat.
Unit 5. Speaking. Exercises 2 and 3.
Is space exploration a waste of money? Well, I've got a few opinions about this. I know that some people think that space exploration is useful. I'm sure that scientists do some interesting experiments when they're up there in space. But do we really need to go into space to do those experiments? I doubt that it's really necessary. Surely scientists can do those experiments here on Earth. People also say that we need to explore and to find new places where humans can live. Well, in my opinion, it would be better if we tried to make Earth a better place. I don't believe that people really want to go and live on the moon or on Mars. When you think about it, that really wouldn't be much fun. So as far as I can see, there isn't any reason to explore space. And there's no doubt in my mind that it is a waste of money. I think that it would be better to spend the money on other things, like medicines, or houses, or clean energy.
Unit 6. Vocabulary. Exercises 3 and 4.
Olivia and Tegan.
How do you see yourself in a group?
In our group, I'm more of an introvert. I hate being the centre of attention.
I love it.
Yeah, you're definitely the leader of the group.
I suppose so. I'm an extrovert, so I'm happiest when I'm with a big group of people.
I don't mind being with the group, but I just don't want to be the leader.
Sam and Joelle.
Are you generally positive?
Not really. To be honest, I'm a bit of a pessimist. I tend to focus on the problems in life.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, you are.
I know bad things happen, but life is short, so why not enjoy it?
I think that's why we're friends. She cheers me up when I'm worrying about something.
And he reminds me to be sensible sometimes. I guess I tend to be a dreamer otherwise.
Daniel and Rob.
Do you prefer chilling out at home or being out and about?
Well, in summer, I'm definitely a nature lover.
Me too.
Yeah, we spend most of the time at weekends at the park or at the swimming pool.
In winter, I prefer to be indoors. It gets pretty cold here.
I'm the same. We're definitely couch potatoes when it's cold outside.
But I think that's fine. It's fun to watch TV or play video games together. I just wouldn't want to do it all the time.
Unit 6. Reading. Exercise 1.
Be yourself. When you're looking in the mirror, tell me, what do you see? It isn't always easy to find your own identity. At times things seem so certain. At times they don't. Sometimes people lose themselves before they find their way again. You might say that I'm a rebel 'cause of how I look. You might say that I'm a nerd for reading all those books. So dreamer, leader, loner, lover, only I know what I am. Don't judge this book by its cover. Be yourself. We can't all be the same. Be yourself. You're more than just a name. Be yourself. I'll give respect to you. I'll be myself, so please respect me too. Just like the landscape changes colour between day and night, at different times we see ourselves in a different light. So if I wear black clothes, it doesn't make me a poser. And if I never win a race, it doesn't make me a loser. It's what's inside that counts, and it's not always simple. Remember, labels are for clothes. They're not for people. And if bullies call you names, don't listen to their hate. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. You yourself know you've got reasons to be proud. So I think you should know that I might not conform to your ideas about me. It's best that I warn you, that if you take me as you find me, I'll be more than happy. But if you don't, it's not my fault. I won't say I'm sorry. To be myself, we can't all be the same. I am myself, a lot more than a name. Be yourself. I'll give respect to you. I'll be myself, so please respect me too.
Unit 6, Vocabulary and Listening, Exercises 2 and 3.
So we're at that time of year when students are planning their summer holidays. Many young people are looking for something a bit different. With me is Jane Anderson from Teen Zone. She's going to tell us about the benefits of some alternative summer programs.
Hi, Mick. Yes, it's good to do something that challenges you and pushes you to your limits. New experiences can help you find out more about yourself and others. They also help you learn new skills.
Are they suitable for everyone? Even people who aren't into group activities or who aren't very independent?
Absolutely. Everyone can benefit from these programs because they all involve teamwork. And they're designed to develop personal skills like decision-making and responsibility.
Right, let's take some questions.
Hello, I'm Andy. I'd like to know more about the tall ship adventures. It sounds incredible, but I don't know much about sailing. That's something which I'm worried about.
That's not a problem. Even complete beginners can go on this course. There are adults on board whose job is to teach you all about sailing.
And other than sailing, what else would we be doing?
Good question. Well, you would get involved in many different activities, such as cleaning the toilets, helping prepare food in the kitchen and washing up. So people that apply must be hard-working. But you'll have a lot of fun too, don't worry.
OK, thanks.
Now let's take a question from our next caller.
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm interested in the Wildlife Volunteer Project. Do you need to have a lot of confidence? I'm a bit shy.
Well, you'll be with people who have similar interests, so I think you'll soon make friends and become more confident. There are also evening activities which are designed for you to relax and socialise with the other volunteers, like film evenings and night hikes.
Oh, great. And do you know where the programmes take place? I'm an animal lover and I want to do something to help the environment, but I don't want to travel too far.
Well, there are programmes all over the world, from protecting dolphins in Costa Rica to releasing turtle hatchlings to the sea in Condau Island, Vietnam. But there are also options closer to home, in Andorra, Italy and Britain, for people who want to stay in Europe.
That sounds brilliant. Thanks.
Thanks for the advice, Jane. It's time for a quick break. Don't go away. There'll be more from us after this.
Unit 6, Pronunciation, Exercise 5. 1.
That course sounds like a lot of fun.
2.
You'll visit places that you didn't know existed.
Unit 6, Speaking, Exercise 1.
What kind of summer programme are you looking for?
I'd like to do something that involves volunteering.
Why does voluntary work interest you?
I want to do something useful and meet people.
Tell me about yourself. What type of person are you?
Well, I see myself as an extrovert, and I suppose I'm an optimist.
What would you say your strengths are?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say that I'm hardworking and, well, most people say I'm reliable.
Tell me about a challenging experience that you have had.
Let me see. A challenging experience in my life was when I ran a 5K race for charity. It was tough, but rewarding.
That all sounds very positive. Would a project that involves sport interest you? We have some vacancies on our tennis mentoring programme.
That would be great. Thanks.
Unit 6. Speaking. Exercise 3.
What kind of volunteering would you like to do, Ned?
I'd like to do something that involves children. I think I'm good with children.
OK, tell me about yourself. What type of person are you?
I suppose I'm a people person. I'm easygoing and sociable.
What would you say your strengths are?
Let me see. My strengths are that I'm reliable and, well, people say that I'm responsible.
Tell me about a rewarding experience that you have had.
That's a good question. Well, last year I went on a school exchange trip to France. I never used to feel very confident about speaking French, but there was one day when my friends and I got lost. I had to ask for directions in a shop in French, and the shopkeeper understood what I said. I was able to follow his directions back to the hostel. That was really rewarding, and I have more confidence now.
That's great. Would you like to help out at an after-school homework club? We could use a French speaker to help the younger students with their homework. It would just be an hour a week.
Yes, I'd love that. Thanks.
Progress Review 3. Exercise 4.
Welcome to Science Weekly, and today we're looking at spacewalks. If you've seen any of the films about spacewalks in recent years, you'll probably remember some of the accidents or adventures that happened. But just how dangerous are spacewalks, and what are the threats? We're going to find out from our guest, space scientist Mark Evans. Welcome, Mark.
Hi. Well, most people believe that meteors are the biggest threat. But of course, with modern technology, we can predict meteors. To be honest, the biggest threat comes from problems with the equipment.
That's interesting.
Yes, in recent years, the Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano had a serious problem with his equipment on a spacewalk.
Really?
Yes. He was doing a walk from the International Space Station about 400 kilometers high above Earth when his space helmet began to fill with water. This was because something inside the helmet had broken.
Oh, no!
The water didn't go away because of the zero gravity, so Parmitano couldn't see at all. If he hadn't used his hands to feel his way back to the spacecraft door, he would have been in trouble.
So, was he okay in the end?
Yes, he was fine. In fact, problems like this are very rare, and there have been no deaths on spacewalks since they first started in 1965.
And would you like to go on a spacewalk?
If I were younger, definitely. You get wonderful views. People think it's dark in space, but you can see the sun for some of the time. You can see a sunrise or sunset every 45 minutes. Isn't that incredible?
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming to talk to us today, Mark.
Thank you.
Progress Review 3. Exercise 11.
Welcome to the Friday Magazine Show with me, Matt Hurley, here at our Birmingham studio and Amira Patel in London. So today we're asking, what are the benefits of volunteering for young people? Now, Amira has got a couple of student volunteers with her. So, over to you, Amira.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, I'm here with high school students, Rachel and Sam, who have both volunteered over the last year. So, hello to you both.
Hi there.
Hello.
So, Rachel, tell us about your experience of volunteering.
Well, I work at a day centre for older people. It's somewhere that they can go to meet people and have lunch. I volunteer there every Friday lunchtime.
And how has volunteering benefited you? I think that people often say that volunteering can improve your confidence, for example.
Well, I was already quite confident, and I suppose I was fairly responsible too.
OK.
But, I used to be a bit quiet sometimes, and volunteering at the day centre has really helped me to become more sociable. Yeah, I definitely see myself as being much more sociable now.
That's interesting. And what about you, Sam? Where do you volunteer?
At my local zoo, on a Saturday. Cleaning out and feeding the animals, that sort of thing.
Sounds fun.
Well, it is fun, and I have enjoyed myself. But it isn't easy. You have to be extremely hard-working to be a volunteer at a place like a zoo. And it's a big responsibility looking after the animals. They don't always do what you want.
And how have you benefited?
Well, I think I've become more confident with looking after difficult animals.
Well, thank you, Rachel and Sam, for telling us about your experiences.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Unit 7. Vocabulary. Exercises 3 and 4.
Theo, what's it like where you live?
My neighbourhood is very nice. There are lots of green spaces and plenty of playgrounds for children, but there's nothing for us. Loads of young people live here, but there's a lack of leisure facilities. I think my town needs a skate park and a cool music venue for concerts.
Olivia, tell me about where you live.
I live in a pretty ordinary suburb of the city. The main problem here is public transport. There are too few buses into the city centre, and the last one is at 7 p.m. So if I go to a concert in the city, it's hard to get home. We could do with a better public transport system.
Sam, do you like where you live?
I live in the city centre. It's great for shopping or going out. There are a few bike lanes on the main streets, so I can cycle safely to a lot of places. That's cool. The main problem here is that there are too many old abandoned buildings, so there's graffiti everywhere. There aren't enough green spaces either. I wish we could have something like the High Line in New York.
Caitlin, what's your neighbourhood like?
I live near a sports stadium. In fact, I can see the pitch from my bedroom window. That's definitely the best thing about where I live. The downside of that is the noise, and there's too much heavy traffic, especially at weekends. Sometimes I think it'd be nicer to live in a nice, quiet suburb.
Unit 7. Reading. Exercise 2.
Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium is a sports stadium in London, England. It opened in 2007 and was built to replace the original Wembley Stadium, which was built in 1923. With a capacity of 90,000, it's the second largest stadium in Europe. The distinctive features of the stadium are its partially retractable roof and the arch, which is 133 metres high and 315 metres wide. Wembley Stadium hosts the matches of the English national football team, as well as the finals of several important football competitions, such as the FA Cup and the UEFA Champions League. This stadium is also a concert venue for many well-known musicians.
London for sports fans. London is such an interesting destination with lots of sports events that as a sports fan, there's no reason to get bored. Here's my top selection. Emirates Stadium. I'm not an Arsenal fan myself, but this is one of England's top football stadiums. Check out the murals outside, which celebrate some of the Gunners' most legendary players. the Undercroft. This skate park, next to the River Thames, has been the heart of Britain's skateboarding community for over 40 years. It's so popular that you can see some of the most talented skaters and BMXers in the country there. Wembley Stadium. This is the biggest stadium in the UK, and in my opinion, it's the best. You can see the famous arch from miles away. It's taller than the London Eye. The stadium has such a powerful sound system that the music can be heard clearly from every corner. Wimbledon. Lots of top tennis stars have played on Wimbledon's centre court, including the Williams sisters, Federer and Nadal. It's the only Grand Slam tournament on grass, so Wimbledon has its own hawk, Rufus, to scare away the pigeons. The grass on Wimbledon's centre court is maintained so carefully that it's often considered the best grass court in the world. While you're here, try the classic dish, strawberries and cream.
Unit 7, Vocabulary and Listening, Exercises 3 and 4.
This week, I'm in Leicester with archaeologist Dr. Marion Sims. We're at the exact spot where the skeleton of King Richard III was unearthed on the 4th of February 2013. Dr. Sims, can you explain how Richard was found here after 5 centuries?
Richard III died at the Battle of Bosworth near Leicester on the 22nd of August 1485. He had been king for only 2 years when he was killed by a soldier fighting with King Henry VII. We know that he was buried in Greyfriars Church in Leicester. But 100 years later, this church was destroyed, and with it, the location of Richard's grave.
So, why did archaeologists search here in the centre of Leicester?
Historians found written descriptions of the location of the church. They realised that it was probably under the car park. Although the chances of finding Richard III were very small, they decided to excavate the site, and work started in August 2012. And they were extremely lucky. They quickly uncovered the old church, as well as a skeleton with battle injuries. The skeleton was removed and examined carefully.
How was the skeleton identified?
Firstly, the shape of the body gave them a clue. Richard had suffered from a serious back problem, and he had died aged 32. The skeleton was of a man in his early 30s with a back problem. Then the bones were dated to between 1455 and 1540. This corresponded to the date of Richard's death. Finally, DNA techniques confirmed his identity.
Richard had no children, so how was that done?
2 female descendants of Richard's sister were located. Their DNA was tested, and it matched the DNA of the skeleton. Now the archaeologists were sure they had found the lost king. Imagine their excitement.
Then, in March 2015, King Richard III was reburied in Leicester Cathedral, only a short distance from where we are standing. What an extraordinary story.
Unit 7, Pronunciation, Exercise 3. 1.
The remains were discovered in 2016.
2.
The ship hasn't been moved yet.
3.
Many treasures aren't found by experts.
4.
Nothing has been found at the site yet.
Unit 7, Speaking, Exercises 1 and 2.
These 2 pictures show the same neighbourhood of a city, but in different years. One is a black and white photo of the city many years ago, maybe in the 1960s. The other one is more modern. The area has been renovated, and the old buildings have been destroyed and rebuilt. Only the church is the same. In the first picture, there are a few cars in front of the church. It's hard to see, but I don't think there are any cafes or shops. There aren't any green spaces, just a large empty area. It looks like an industrial site, but I'm not sure. By contrast, in this picture, there's a large park with trees. Lots of people are sitting around. Maybe it's the only park in this part of the city. This could be a bicycle lane because I can't see any cars. In the first picture, the buildings are smaller, but here they are tall and modern. They look like blocks of flats or office blocks maybe. I prefer photo B because I think it's important to have green spaces in a city and fewer cars.
Unit 8. Vocabulary. Exercise 2. 1. Fascinated by. 2. Terrified of. 3. Happy about. 4. Thrilled at. 5. Keen on. 6. Nervous about. 7. Scared of. 8. Worried about.
Unit 8. Vocabulary. Exercises 3 and 4. 1.
Amelia.
What are you scared of?
Spiders. I can't even look at a picture of a spider. They're horrible.
What about heights? Are you nervous about high places?
No, not at all. I don't have a problem with heights.
2.
Harry.
What do you find scary?
Hospitals are really scary. I get really nervous about visiting someone in hospital.
What makes you happy?
Happy? Music makes me happy. Listening to music.
3.
Shri.
Do you ever get nervous about things or situations?
Oh, yes. I get really nervous when I'm in a small place.
So caving isn't a sport that you want to try then?
No way. I like being outside.
4.
Lily. What makes you happy?
Lots of things, but my favourite is dancing. It makes me really happy.
Are you scared of anything?
I find roller coasters scary. All my friends love them, but I don't.
Unit 8. Reading. Exercise 2.
Scream machines. Scary or fun? Why do millions of people love roller coasters? The answer is that people love feeling afraid when they know they're in no real danger. But Jane Clark has never been on a roller coaster. She is frightened of heights and speed. It's ridiculous. All my friends have ridden on roller coasters and they love it, says Jane. I've always wanted to try, but I've never been brave enough. Well, Jane has decided that today this is going to change. She has bought a ticket for oblivion, and her friends are here to support her. Her heart is beating, and she can't speak as she gets in. Then they're off. People are screaming because they're scared, or is it because they're excited? She screams too. 3 minutes later, it's all over. Jane is happy. She's done it. She's been on her first roller coaster. Words can't describe it, she says. But for some people, roller coaster phobia never goes away. Psychologist Frank Farley believes that there are 2 types of people when it comes to fear and risk. Some people prefer the quiet life, For others, danger and excitement make them feel alive. Their brains produce feel-good chemicals in risky situations, and they love extreme sports like climbing or paragliding. Roller coasters are great for these people because they can get the excitement without the danger. The chance of a fatal accident is 1 in 50 billion. Driving to the amusement park is more dangerous than riding on a scream machine.
Unit 8. Language Focus. Exercise 3.
I have been outside my home only 3 times in 2 months. I stop going out because it's scary. I have agoraphobia, a fear of open places. I have seen 3 different doctors, but they haven't found a solution to my problem. I took lots of medicine and went to therapy groups, but they didn't help. I'm very depressed. Fortunately, I'm now undergoing a new virtual reality treatment, and I'm extremely enthusiastic. I can visit beaches, shopping centres, and streets with my headset and computer. I'm getting better, and I hope to visit real places soon.
Unit 8. Vocabulary and Listening. Exercise 1. 1.
How did you cut your finger?
2.
I'm afraid your ankle is broken.
3.
I fell off my bike. I've got a bruise on my knee.
4.
I've sprained my wrist again.
5.
She's been in the sun and her nose is burned.
6.
Their best player has injured his shoulder.
Unit 8. Vocabulary and Listening. Exercise 2.
Cut. Cut. A cut. Break. Broken. A break. Burn. Burned. A burn. Bruise. Bruised. A bruise. Injure. Injured. An injury. Sprain. Sprained. A sprain.
Unit 8.
Vocabulary and Listening. Exercises 3 and 4. 1.
Laura, are you into sports?
Yes, I love sport.
And what sports do you do?
Running and swimming. But my favourite is snowboarding.
What do you like about it?
I love going fast on the snow. It makes me feel free. It's awesome.
It looks dangerous. Have you ever had an injury?
Yes, I broke my wrist when I was a beginner. It wasn't very serious, so I only spent 1 night in hospital.
2.
What sports do you do, Owen?
I go mountain biking with Tim, my friend. It's really exciting.
Have you tried downhill biking?
Yeah, it's awesome. My record for downhill is 32 kilometers per hour. Tim's is 37 kilometers per hour. He's crazy.
Have you had any injuries?
Nothing serious. Only cuts and bruises. I've been lucky.
What about Tim? Has he broken any bones?
No, he's only had a sprained ankle. He's been incredibly lucky.
3.
What sports do you like, Rachel?
Ice hockey. I play goalie in a team here in Edinburgh.
Has your team ever won a game?
Sure. We've won a few games.
It looks dangerous. Have you ever broken any bones?
No. You see, I wear all this protective gear. but I broke my ankle on the way to hockey training once. I fell off my bike.
Was it serious?
Yes. I had an operation and I was in hospital for 10 days.
Unit 8. Speaking. Exercises 1 and 2.
Hey, Chloe. What's wrong? Are you okay?
No. I've hurt my arm.
How did you do it?
I fell while I was skateboarding. I was going too fast and I couldn't stop. It's really painful.
Let me see. Oh dear. You've got a bruise on your arm.
Ouch! Don't touch. It really hurts.
And your elbow's very red.
Really?
Can you move it?
No, I can't move it at all. It's too painful. Do you think I've broken it?
I don't know, but it doesn't look good. I think you should see a doctor.
I'll call Mum and she can take me.
Come on, let's go over there and wait for her.
Thanks, Joe.
Unit 8. Pronunciation. Exercise 5.
Sprain. Fruit. Snack. Camp. Unpleasant. Coaster. Risks. Hospital. Spend. Jump. Factor. Thrilled.
Progress Review 4. Exercise 4.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. Can you tell me about these new things at the museum?
Yeah, sure. We're really pleased to have this hoard of treasure on display here. It was discovered recently in the town of Louth, not far from here.
Great.
Yeah, it's interesting because it wasn't found by professional archaeologists. It was unearthed by a local man called Alan Smith using a metal detector.
A metal detector? That's exciting. And where exactly did he find it?
Well, it was in a strange place. It was located in the middle of a field of potatoes on a big farm.
Really? But who did it originally belong to?
Well, the hoard was buried in the grave of an ancient ruler. We think it was buried about 1,500 years ago, so it all belonged to him. As you can see, he was probably very important because there's a beautiful gold necklace, 2 big bowls, and also some weapons.
So, how did they take all the things out of the ground? It must be difficult.
Well, the things were removed by a group of archaeologists.
And are they valuable?
Yes, they were examined by experts at the British Museum. The necklace is very well preserved, and it is worth over £50,000.
Cool. I'd like to find something like that.
Yeah, me too.
Have you got any more information?
Yes, you should have a look at our leaflet about the hoard.
Great, I'd like that.
I'll get you one.
Thanks.
Progress Review 4. Exercise 11.
OK, girls. Thanks for coming to the meeting. There's a bit of a problem this week. We've got a lot of injuries. There are enough players for a team on Thursday, just. So, am I right? Emma, Cara, Rachel, Ava, Yasmin and Louisa. Are you OK to play?
Yes, miss.
OK, so that's 6 players. Now, I've had messages from some of the other girls and they can't play. Poor Hannah has burned her hand on a barbecue. The burn isn't too bad. I think she'll be better next week. Then, Saphira. Well, I think she won't play volleyball for a few weeks. She's cut her finger badly on a knife.
Oh dear. That sounds bad, miss.
Yes. And Caitlin fell off a horse at the weekend. onto her leg. The good news is that she hasn't broken her leg, but she is injured and she can't play.
Oh no! She's our best player.
Well, you're all good players. Now, poor Jenny, she's got a big bruise on her left shoulder from training. It's very painful, so she can't play. And Ella, you know she plays basketball too. Well, she's sprained her ankle badly and she's injured her knee. So she's out of the team. And last of all, Aisha, she fell over in that match last Friday and she's got a bad cut on her right arm.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So, let's hope that there aren't any more injuries before the match on Thursday.
Yes, miss!
Unit 1. Culture, Exercise 1. Life in a box.
An old postcard. A map to a party. Used postage stamps. A magazine. A piece of junk mail. Some wrapping paper and ribbon. Does this sound like a work of art or a load of old rubbish? In fact, these are objects from a time capsule created by the world's most famous pop artist, Andy Warhol. Before he died in 1987, Andy Warhol had filled more than 600 boxes with hundreds of thousands of objects from his everyday life. Even when he was very young, Warhol liked collecting things. At the age of 9, he collected photographs of film stars. There's nothing unusual about that. However, his later collections are truly astonishing. From 1974 onwards, he always kept a brown cardboard box next to his desk. Whether it was a letter from a film star or a receipt for some shopping, if he didn't want to get rid of an object, he put it into the box. As soon as he had finished a box, he closed it, wrote the date on it, and started another. Warhol thought that the boxes were valuable. "Someday I'll sell them for $4,000 or $5,000 apiece," he wrote in his diary in 1986. Many people agree with him. The boxes are now at the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh, USA. In 2014, Warhol fans bought tickets to watch the opening of one of the final boxes. One fan had paid $30,000 to help open it. Was it worth it? It's true that many of the items are quite ordinary and appear worthless, but some of the boxes also contain rare objects. A drawing that Warhol never exhibited. A photograph that he took. Some of the items are simply bizarre. A fan's toenail clippings. A piece of pizza. Even a mummified foot. Warhol's art put everyday objects in the spotlight to make a comment on consumer society. Now, after his death, the everyday objects of Warhol's own life tell us a lot about the artist and society in the 20th century. So, was Warhol just a hoarder or an important chronicler of his time?
Unit 2, CLIL. Exercise 2.
A moral dilemma. Life is full of decisions, but some are more difficult than others. Sometimes we have to make a decision where every option seems like a bad one, and those are the most difficult of all. Mark and his sister Jasmine had important exams at school recently. Mark studied hard, but he found the exams difficult and his results were poor. However, Jasmine's results were much better. Her parents were delighted and bought her a new computer as a reward. Mark was a bit envious. He'd worked hard too, but he was pleased for his sister. However, A few weeks later, Jasmine admitted to Mark that she had cheated in the exams. She made him promise not to say anything. Mark was shocked and angry that Jasmine had deceived everyone, particularly their parents. However, he knew that Jasmine would hate him if he broke his promise. In the end, although he felt that it was completely unfair, he decided to keep quiet. In situations like this, the action that a person takes will depend on their moral values. These are the principles that make us decide what are the right and wrong things to do. In the same way that people have different appearances and personalities, we have different moral identities. A value that is extremely important to one person, such as honesty, might not be as important to another person. In Mark's situation, he faced a moral dilemma, but his moral values helped him to make a decision. He strongly wanted Jasmine to face the consequences of her actions, but he felt that breaking his sister's trust would be even worse. Jasmine was lucky. Other people might feel that uncovering her dishonesty was the most important thing.
Unit 3. Culture. Exercise 2. Shop less, live more.
When did you last buy something? Maybe you are looking forward to a shopping trip at the weekend, but will it make you happy? In the short term, the answer might be yes. However, some people think it might not be good for our health and happiness in the long term. One of the busiest shopping days of the year in the USA is Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, when many shops have special offers. Black Friday has spread around the world as large retailers try to increase consumer spending. In many countries, it is the start of the Christmas shopping period. However, not everyone will be queuing for a bargain. In 1992, Buy Nothing Day started in Canada as a protest against consumerism and the shopping frenzy that takes place at this time of year. The anti-consumerist organisation Adbusters promoted Buy Nothing Day, and now more than 60 countries take part. Their message is simple: participate by not participating. For 24 hours on the 4th Friday of November, people leave their purses and wallets at home and do not buy anything at all. Some people choose to spend time with friends and family instead. Others join protests. But what's the point? Overconsumption has ecological consequences, says Kalle Larsson, co-founder of Adbusters. Every single purchase that you make has some kind of an impact on the planet. Making the products and transporting them to the shops uses a lot of natural resources. When they are no longer in fashion, the products will end up on the rubbish heap. It all contributes to air and water pollution, the destruction of our environment, and social inequality. Reports suggest that the social impact of our spending habits is also serious. People in consumerist cultures are more likely to suffer from financial problems, stress, and obesity. In order to pay for expensive products, people work long hours and therefore spend less time with family and friends. Critics of Buy Nothing Day say it's meaningless because people will just buy more the following day. But the organisers argue that Buy Nothing Day makes people think about the consequences of consumption and maybe make some changes to their lifestyle.
Unit 4, CLIL. Exercise 1.
The Science of Happiness.
What makes us happy? Spending time with friends, playing our favourite sport, eating a big piece of cake. Surprisingly, the things that make us happy haven't changed much since the time the first humans lived in caves and hunted to survive. Social contact, physical exercise, and delicious food have always made human beings happy. Why? The answer is simple. Emotions helped the first humans to survive. When we do something that increases our chance of survival, such as make friends with someone or eat high-calorie food, our brain rewards us with feelings of happiness. We will repeat the action in the future to get the same feeling. So, how exactly do our bodies produce feelings of happiness? First, receptors in the mouth, eyes, nose, skin or ears receive information from our environment. For example, when we eat something delicious, taste receptors in the mouth receive the information and send electrical impulses. Cells called neurons carry the electrical impulses around the body. At the ending of the neuron cell, the impulse passes to another neuron cell, but the two cells do not touch. There is a small gap between the two cells called a synapse. The signal is carried across the synapse by special chemicals called neurotransmitters, which attach to receptor molecules on the receiving cell. The neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin and endorphins, have a very important role in creating the brain's reward for useful behaviour, happiness.
Unit 5, CLIL, Exercise 1.
Vaccines. Vaccines are used to protect the body against certain dangerous diseases before we come into contact with them. Global vaccination programs have eradicated or controlled many deadly diseases around the world. For example, smallpox was officially eradicated in 1980. What is in a vaccine? Vaccines are biological substances that are made of the same microorganisms that cause disease. How do vaccines work? Vaccines help develop the body's immunity by imitating a real infection. When the vaccine is introduced into the body, usually by injection or orally, the immune system reacts to the invading substance as if it were a real disease. The white blood cells produce antibodies to attack and destroy the substance in the vaccine. These antibodies then stay in the body and they create immunity. If the body comes into contact with the disease in the future, the immune system will respond immediately and protect against the infection. Are all vaccines the same? Different types of vaccines are used to immunize against different diseases. When and how often do you need vaccines? Most children are vaccinated against serious childhood diseases when they are babies. Several doses of the vaccines are needed to build up a complete immunity, so the vaccination is repeated 3 times. Some vaccines, such as the influenza vaccine, are only effective for a short time and need repeating every year. Others, like the yellow fever vaccine, are only necessary if you live in or visit a country where the disease exists.
Unit 7, CLIL, Exercise 2.
Mexico City, a megacity.
Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. It's an exciting, noisy and busy place to live, but it's also vulnerable to natural disasters. It sits on an ancient lake surrounded by mountains and volcanoes and is in constant danger of earthquakes and flooding.
Too many people.
With a population of more than 18 million, overcrowding is a major issue in Mexico City, and the housing supply is inadequate. As a result, shantytowns called barrios have appeared. People who are desperate for somewhere to live in the city put up these shanty houses in any spare corner of land. The houses ought to have proper foundations, but they have been built quickly on top of the land, and when the floods come, water sweeps the houses away. Disease spreads quickly in megacities like Mexico City. Overcrowding could be a reason for this. Sometimes, as many as 10 people live in one room, sharing toilets, water, and cooking facilities. In the 21st century, we should have the technology to provide toilets and clean drinking water for everyone, but this isn't the case in shanty towns.
Bad air.
Pollution is another health hazard. Smog covers the city from November to May, and tens of thousands of people die from health issues relating to it. A program called Oi no Circular has been introduced, and cars must stay off the road for 1 day a week. The government is also trying to encourage commuters to find a different way to travel to work. There is a new bicycle sharing service called EcoBici and a Metrobus system.
A beautiful city.
Despite its problems, Mexico City is vibrant and lively, with a rich cultural life, fantastic shopping, amazing restaurants, and plenty for its citizens and visitors to do. There are more than 200 museums and galleries, and there is a wonderful zoo. Architecturally, it is very interesting, with a wonderful checkerboard layout and splendid architecture, which dates from the 16th century.
Unit 8.
Culture, Exercise 2. The Lost Village of Skara Brae.
Winter in the Northern Isles of Scotland is a stormy season. Every year, heavy rain and strong winds hit the coast of the Orkney Islands. In the winter of 1850, there was a very severe storm on mainland, the largest of the Orkneys. It caused terrible damage to the island, but it also revealed an amazing archaeological treasure. When the storm cleared, the outline of an ancient village was exposed. Since then, the site has been excavated and explored by archaeologists, and they have made some remarkable discoveries. The ancient village of Skara Brae was built more than 5,000 years ago and was probably inhabited between around 3,200 BC and 2,200 BC. That makes it older than the Great Pyramid at Giza. It's easy to see why this period of history is called the Stone Age. The houses of Skara Brae and everything in them are made from stone. The village is so well preserved that it has changed little in 5,000 years. The 8 stone houses are connected by low passageways with stone doors. They all have a similar layout. One main room with a central fireplace and stone beds on both sides. Opposite the entrance is a large stone dresser, a kind of cupboard. It sounds basic to today's visitor, but in the Stone Age, these were warm and comfortable houses. The archaeologists' investigations have given us lots of information about the people who lived at Skara Brae and what life was like for them. They were farmers who kept sheep and cattle. They also ate fish and hunted deer. Every part of the animal was used, including the bones. The archaeologists found jewellery, hairpins, needles, bowls and cups, all carved from animal bones and stone. They also found stone pots that contained red colouring material and some mysterious carved stone balls. Around 2200 BC, Skara Brae was abandoned and slowly covered by the earth and sands. We don't know why these people left their small community. It is possible that farming became more difficult because of changes to the environment. We also know that, as the Bronze Age approached, society began to change and small farming communities broke up. Skara Brae was left to the winds.